Hello ladies and gentlemen, An Idiot Imports is sponsored by PlayAsia, who most likely supplied this game to me unless I specifically mentioned that they didn't. You can follow the affiliate link in the description to buy this game from PlayAsia to support me and my channel, and you can use the coupon code BLUEVITA to save $3 off your order. Thanks for your support, enjoy the show. Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Maxima and I'm here checking out World Trigger, Borderless Mission. This one's been on the list for a long time and I only just got around to it, so sorry about that. Let's just go have a look, shall we? Not waste too much time with it. So, I've got a save file here that's about 4 hours in and I didn't really feel the need to go further. I tried to say feel and see at the same time there, and I almost said the word seal. So, you can do online multiplayer and ad hoc multiplayer, which is pretty nice for a game like this. Those lines down the screen there are a lot less visible on the Vita itself, so let's just go have a quick look around. The settings menu is pretty obvious. The game doesn't have autosave, just so you know. You've got camera inversion options. These are all just camera options here. This is stick sensitivity, these are your sound volumes, and this is friendly fire, which you definitely want to keep off, which is the default setting. You've got CG that you can come view here of the main story. I don't have much of it just yet, but the majority of it is actually tutorials. So these are all the tutorials you get. Kind of nice, really, that there's so many of them. I didn't actually translate many of them because most of them are actually pretty obvious. So we'll get on to how the game actually works very shortly. This screen here lets you customize your individual people, and this one here lets you go and buy new triggers. Triggers are your equipment in this game, and you can see how many you own, and you can also sell some. So you can also come here to buy bullet triggers. Like these all blue ones here are all weapon triggers, and they're all guns or swords or whatever. And there are higher quality ones that you can unlock that do more damage at a cost of more of your energy meter. However, they cost an absolute ton. Like, seriously. It takes a huge amount of effort to get 20,000 border coins. Like, I know I've got 35,000, but that's because I haven't bought anything recently. Like, for the past, 25 missions, I haven't bought anything. These are all bullets that change the way your bullets work, but as far as I can tell, there's no real significant difference between them, except some are less likely to hit than others. And these are all different abilities that you can get. Like, for example, this one here lets you do more than 2 jumps. This one here lets you do 2 jumps. These two here change your attacks, give you more powerful attacks. These ones change how much of the energy you use. This one changes your physical strength. This one gives you extra XP. These give you extra defense against bullets. It's all pretty simple, right? They're also pretty expensive. Like, seriously, it takes a massive amount of missions to actually get these things. If I'm to go into one of my characters here, you can see that they have slots for equipping things like weapons and stuff. The problem is that a lot of these early on characters don't have very many slots at all. Like this guy here, this rank C person, only has 1 slot for 1 weapon. And to get more slots, you have to rank up. And as you can see, this guy here has a few more slots, but not really much else to work with. So you can see that I've got 2 normal things equipped down here and a shotgun with some bullets. I don't know how to get a different bullet mod. Now, if we go to a rank A, we can see that they've got an absolute ton of extra options. They can carry, 2 weapons at once as well. So you can carry along someone who's got, a gun and a melee weapon at the same time. And you can also equip them with a ton of extra options. However, as I said before, all the options are bloody expensive, which is the most annoying thing in the world. Because I would love to be able to, outfit all of these rank A's with some decent options. But you can't do that. And the thing is, you don't even want to be using these guys anyway, and we'll explain why that's a thing shortly. You've got 2 different modes you can go through. This is the AI versus mode, where you can take along a single person or a team in a versus match that you can set up personally, but we won't bother doing that. I like the little robot over here, by the way. He looks so nonchalant. That's the only thing I like about this game, though. And then we've got the actual missions that we can go on. Now, we've got story missions on this tab here that we can only go through by getting through them one by one. So I'm up to mission 18 on the story, for example, and I will be playing through this one. And you've also got some extra bonus story missions down here with different squads that you can go through. And if you hit the L and R button, it'll take you to the free mode missions, which let you use anyone at any time, basically. So we'll go back and we'll do a story mission first, just so I can demonstrate how this works. The problem with these story missions, though, is that you are locked to specific characters, and the main story locks you to the rank C and rank B people, which is the most annoying thing in the world, because since you have to use the rank C and rank B people, you have to level them up, and you have to try and get them new weapons, so you can't use the level A ones. Sure, you can go into the free mode and, like, take along, like, 2 C and Bs and 2 level As or something like that to try and get some experience in, but that just slows things down and it's annoying, so you might as well just use the C and Bs as much as humanly possible. The story is told through these cutscenes here, through 2D CG. There's no voice acting here, but once you get into the actual levels, you'll start actually hearing voice acting. It's a bit weird, honestly. But yeah, you've seen enough of this, so thankfully I can skip these cutscenes. It is basically just that. There's no voice acting or anything like that there. And we're stuck with this team here, so strangely enough, we get this guy here who actually has a preset loadout for this, but if I hit square, I can actually use his regular loadout. And this guy here is stuck to his regular loadout, which is the shotgun, and these two are also stuck to whatever loadouts they've got as part of the story mission, which is really strange, but there you go. So, if I just hit circle here, we'll go straight into the mission. 6 minutes in and I'm into a mission. That's got to be some sort of record. Well, it's got a loading time, which is not terrible, but the missions themselves are actually pretty short, so when you have to go through multiple of these in one PlayStation, they can start to get on your nerves. The missions themselves take place in their own, like, self-contained maps, and they're pretty small. They remind me a lot of Earth Defense Force, where your missions take place inside a small section of a particular area. And the level designs themselves actually remind me of Earth Defense Force, because it's a very stereotypical Japanese city that you're wandering around in, so yeah. Actually, a lot of things in this game remind me of Earth Defense Force, but anyway, away we go. So we have enemies to deal with. We deal with this by basically being superheroes. I am currently our melee attacker right now. Ow, that kind of hurt. So, the main idea is that you have a melee attack on the triangle button, and you have a square button that lets you bring up a shield, and the shield can protect you against hits. If you time your shielding correctly, you'll get to do a parry, and on regular human opponents, this will give you plenty of extra time to attack. Now, if I swap to another character by pressing the select button, I can bring along Mr. Shotgun Guy here. And Mr. Shotgun Guy, you use the L and the R buttons. You can also tap the L button, and if you tap the L button, you'll lock on to a character. If you hold the L button, you'll go into free aim mode, and if you go into free aim mode while you're locked on, it'll keep that character, it'll keep whoever you're locked onto in sight, which is nice, but I'm also not entirely sure what the use would be. The X button can make you jump like a freaking superhero, and if you've got the right trigger, you can use the, you can use the, brain work with me here, you can use the, you can use jump like more than once or twice or even like 5 times in a row. Ow. Every enemy has a weak spot, and if you hit the weak spot, you'll get bonus score, and you'll also get, if you hit them in the weak spot when they die, you'll get tons of extra bonus points. And the game does have a mission ranking system, so you do want to try and get as many like critical hits as possible. Can't really do that very well with the shotgun, but I mean, it is like the easiest weapon to just do tons of damage in a short amount of time. It's also the best way to cheese boss fights that make you go up against other humans. So I've just been keeping the shotgun around because it's just easier. You do have a dodge on the circle button, and if you crouch using this just by tapping the circle button without moving in any direction, it lets you recharge your energy meter faster. So you do want to keep that in mind for weapons that take a lot of energy. You can jump around on buildings, and you can also wall hang on some buildings like this, which will let you jump again. but most of the buildings have this little ridge on them, which means you can't actually get on the roof of said buildings unless you get onto another building next to it and then jump onto that. And that is hilariously annoying. There are also buildings that have tons of like little inlets in them that are like, imagine an apartment building with a bunch of balconies that you can walk out onto. Yeah, you get caught in those. That's annoying. It's a lot like Earth Defense Force, except with Earth Defense Force you can blow the buildings up. In this game you can't. So yeah, that was a typical mission. They are pretty short. We're talking a few minutes. And of course we have to go through a loading screen again, and we get to see another cutscene sometimes. Sometimes you don't. Your characters level up, they gain experience. You get BP, which is your currency for this, and you also gain ranking points, which are BC. No, is that BP or BC? I can't remember off the top of my head, but the more of the level up currency you get, the more items that you can purchase from the shop. There's no like random loot drops or anything like that, which would be nice. Like imagine if every once in a while they'd give you a free one just to, you know, keep you going. That'd be nice. But yeah, as you can see in that mission, I didn't earn that much currency at all. I earned like 3,000. And considering that the high quality weapons require that, it require an absolute ton of money. It's kind of disappointing, honestly. But yeah, another story mission there. You also unlock more free missions the more you go through. Did I unlock more weaponry? I don't think I did. No, I don't think I did, unfortunately. Let's go and do a free mission, but this time I will put a different melee weapon on all of the different characters so you can see what at least some of the melee weapons look like. Alright. So we'll go do a free mission now. This mission? Or this mission? Alright, these are the story missions. Right, this will be fine. Yeah. So you can go through and play story missions again with a different team, and the different team will let you, you know, just level up different people. So if I hit... I'm trying to remember what bloody button it is to... No, it's... Yeah, it's triangle. It's triangle. Okay, so... I'll give this guy a axe. I will give this attacker here a... Wait, what does he have? Oh, he has one of those. Okay, so that he'll look pretty different. And the all-rounder needs a different melee weapon. Okay, I'll give her a spear. Unfortunately, that means she can't carry along her gun, but the AI in this game averages between hilariously dumb and surprisingly confident in itself. Like, seriously, when you go into, like, the person versus person ones, they tend to have these special abilities, which mean they can really kick your ass, and it's kind of frustrating. There's this one story mission that you have to do where the player versus where the enemy player can go invisible and then spawn behind you and attack you. And if you're not like immediately turning around and blocking, because he will circle around behind you and attack you if you don't turn around and block properly, he will hit you. The only way I was able to get through that boss mission was again cheesing it with the shotgun. But anyway, here we go. So we've got a couple of different melee weapons. They aren't that different, all things considered. They all attack, obviously. They take their own part of the energy meter as well, and you can do things like roundhouse kicks to, you know, have as a backup melee weapon. Not really that important though. So yeah, this is just that. It's not much out of the ordinary. I'll swap to the sniper. The sniper's pretty cool because the sniper is actually a challenge to play because bullets have travel time. So in order to actually keep this girl alive, you have to keep her pretty far away, and you have to fire like this. Unfortunately, her bullets are actually quite inaccurate unless you crouch. That helps. Only slightly though. I hit the fucking traffic light. Yeah, bonus points for that. The game does notably slow down there whenever you get an excellent hit on an enemy, which doesn't help very much because the game's performance isn't particularly great. It slows down fairly often, and whenever an enemy spawns in, there's a very noticeable input lag. Or even, no, actually, it's not even input lag, it's full-on screen lag for like half a second, and it's kind of frustrating to deal with, honestly, because if you're trying to like crouch or something to get your stuff back, the game will just fail to recognize your inputs, which is surprising. You would think they'd notice something like that and try and fix it. There's one patch for this game, but I can't tell you how long ago it came out. So, yeah, that's a thing. Most of the guns do feel like this, do feel like these lightweight, just no recoil, no nothing guns. Most of your time spent with your guns will be just locking onto an enemy and just doing a circle strafe and just firing your gun by holding the R button at them. This makes pistols and like single shot weapons entirely useless because they're all way too weak to be even remotely useful. So you do want to be taking along mostly submachine guns and stuff like that at the minimum. I mean, sniper rifles are okay because you can be more precise with them, but yeah, it also kind of sucks that they can't really hit shit. Like, I can just walk around, like if you're up close and personal, you can just fire directly into their face. That does work. It's kind of nice.
一匹ずつ確実に倒していこう。私が始末するわ、陸母くん。沢村くん、現場の部隊を3手に分けて東、南、南西の敵にそれぞれ当たらせろ。了解。西と北西はどうしますか。心配はいらない。そちらにはジンとアモンが向かっている。
I'm sorry if you really couldn't hear that properly. I just wanted to let you listen to some of the voice acting. It's pretty standard Japanese VA. Like, nothing particularly stands out about it. And, well, you know, since I can't really understand what they're saying, I haven't really been listening anyway. So, yeah, it's not terrible, not by any means. I haven't wanted to turn it off. But I can't really understand it, so I can't really give you an opinion on what they're saying, because it's me we're talking about. I haven't tried to translate any of it, because obviously it doesn't stay up on the screen for anywhere near long enough to get the Google Translate up on it, so there you go. There are a couple of other things you can do with the really advanced characters, like if you tap the screen here, it'll let you see all the, things you've got equipped, and you can equip and de-equip some particular triggers for the purpose of saving your energy, because there are some that take your energy away. And there are a couple other controls, like if you want to see where you're going, like the camera doesn't auto rotate. If you want to see what direction you're going in, you just tap the bottom right corner of the screen, and when you release, it'll reorient the camera, which is nice. Because actually, I would have preferred it if it was on like a different button, like maybe down on the D-pad, but the D-pad's actually used for controlling your triggers that you've got out. It can be used to have a shortcut to some of your triggers, so which are your abilities. The game itself is alright. Like, it's very lightweight and very it reminds me a lot of Earth Defense Force in that sense, right? Like, everything's really lightweight and floaty, and everybody moves around at the speed of goddamn sound, and there's enemies everywhere, and you don't have that much health to work with, I've found. And there are some missions that are absolute dicks. Like, there's a mission where your radar gets disabled and you have to defend 2 exit gates, and your radar will get disabled so that you can't actually see where enemies are attempting to escape through the gates from, which is actually really annoying. And there are a few annoying missions like that, like the one I mentioned that's a story mission where you have to do a one-on-one fight with the guy who goes invisible and attacks you from behind. Yeah, that's a real pain in the dick to take care of, I tell ya. And the weaponry system doesn't seem to be very interesting either, mainly because you can level up your weapons, which might increase your proficiency with them, but I can't be 100% sure because I haven't found any proof of that. You do get stats as you level up, but you can't really arrange them in any particular way, so everybody just levels up. And you just have to grind to get your stats up in a relatively succinct fashion. And again, with the weapon upgrades, like, I've been playing for 4 hours and I only just got the weapon upgrades half an hour ago in game time. So it does take a while to unlock weapon upgrades and stuff like that to make it feel particularly satisfying to upgrade your gear and stuff like that. So you mainly have to work with the actual, melee shooting gameplay, and the melee gameplay is arguably one of the most frustrating things of all of this game, because the way it works is that you can knock enemies down and they will have invincibility once they get back up for a couple of seconds. So you do have to, like, be constantly on the defense and then on the attack and then on the defense, and it just gets annoying to do after a while. Like, it's this mission here. I'll play this mission and I'll try and take along not too many people so that it doesn't really seem like a cakewalk. Seriously, if you take a gun along to any of these missions, you will win. Like, seriously, you will just goddamn win. Right, so I've just gone and completely cleared that team, so now we can, fill it with people. So I'll just take along, yeah, I'll take along this guy. And I'll take along another attacker just to be safe. Where is he? Where is he? Oh, there he is. Right, I'll take along him too. Okay, so we've got 2 attackers. And if I change... Nope, this guy's got a alright, melee weapon. And nope, I want to go and change this guy's weapon too. So he's just got the sword, alright. The melee weapons, as I said, aren't really that different. Okay, well, no, back, forward. There we go. So this is a 2-on-2 melee fight now. So you'll be able to see how the melee combat works between people. And as I've said, there are also missions where you fight like 4-on-4 and it's first to X amount of kills or or the clock counts down in the background and you have to kill as many people as possible, right? So there are missions like that. I won't bother showing them because they're basically this mission just on a larger scale with worse frame rate. Seriously, the game gets really hard to control at times. Alright, so here he is. So yeah, this is how the melee combat works. You knock them over, they have invincibility for a couple of seconds where they can attack you. Then they get back up and you just repeat the process over and over again. It's not the most satisfying thing in the world, especially when you're fighting someone who's actually got melee abilities. Because basically, considering that blocking in this game is kind of a lucky chance. Like, see, I just guessed that I had the block there, and it was just at the right time in order to actually get him stunned. So, yeah, ow. It was just at the right time to actually get that guy stunned. So, yeah, it is kind of guesswork, and you can be stun locked by gunfire, and yes, you can lose your lock on of the character you were focusing on at the time if you were if they get too far out of your line of sight, which is the most annoying thing in the world because you'll just lose sight of them and you'll have no idea where they went. Actually, I'm doing alright on time, so I will show off one of the bigger combat events with a more outfitted team. It's just not very satisfying, honestly. It's just a bit of a pain in the ass to deal with, just because of how guns can stun lock you from a real far distance, making melee basically worthless if you're a melee person of any kind. You might as well just leave it to the AI, because again, the AI can be anything from so dumb that it runs into a wall for a few seconds before it even realizes what it's doing, to going and just absolutely whooping your ass by attacking you just as you're getting up from your invincibility period. It kind of sucks. It really does. It's just, like, I can see... It reminds me a lot of Asterisk War in that sense, because it is a similar sort of thing. It is an anime adaptation that I never saw. So, it is one of those sorts of games where it just feels piddlingly average, really. I've used that term a lot recently, but it is pretty true. Let me see if I can find one of those missions. Yes. Okay, this one. This'll do. So now let's get a team to get. Let's actually get a decent team together. Let's get someone who can shoot. All right, we'll take a gunner along because why not? And all-rounder, why not? And we'll replace this guy with another gunner, because seriously, gunners are really useful in this. And alright, we'll take me along. This guy's the main character as far as I can tell. You get the most like solo missions with him. And I'll take along my actually, you know what, just for the purpose of demonstration, I'll take along a pistol just to show how piss weak they are. But thankfully you can equip them with like another like weapon. So what weapon do I want? I have to take one that only takes one slot, so I guess I'll take this one. Why not? It's just slightly stronger as far as I can tell. Alright. Onto the mission. Back onto the mission. There we go. This won't take long. World Trigger Borderless mission is okay. It is playable without a English translation. If you've got a translator to help you with the triggers, it gives you like something that feels really good. Like they give you early story missions which show you a lot of really powerful triggers and let you have fun with them. But then you have to go through the free mode with these characters here who have low damage, not very many things, and yes, this slowdown is because of the game spawning all the people in. And then when it comes to the actual like gunplay and combat and stuff like that, it's all very lightweight and whiffy, a lot like Asterisk War was. So yeah, if I can just get out of this guy's way for a second, here's the pistol. See, it's not particularly great, is it? And they can block it, so, you know. It really isn't as bad as I'm saying. It is just kind of frustrating to play when they can absolutely destroy you, even though it feels like, even though it's, you swear that you bloody hit them. It's just, yeah. And you do have to, like, get out of the way to let your stuff regenerate, and I do have a shield that I can demonstrate here. And shields do have different effectivenesses. Shoot this guy in the back and knock him over. And as you can see up in the top left, there's a counter, and you can do like custom battles like this in that secondary menu item that I showed you earlier. But yeah, as I was saying, it's okay when it goes right, and you know, you're not getting absolutely destroyed. I did take damage through my shield there. Shields can only block specific things. I know that for a fact. I just wasn't able to properly translate what blocks what, so it's kind of a pain in the ass to deal with. It's okay when it works, and the monster missions where you're fighting off the monsters are the best part of the game. When you have to do these missions here, like see how at the top of this tower, this guy won't come down from the tower, but your guys try to get to the top of it, and well, it just doesn't happen, and then you can get attacked from behind. So yeah, they are a bit stupid like this. It is kind of annoying to get to the top of this tower to deal with this. Like, seriously, you can't like wall hang off the in a frame of this tower, so you do have to like work your way up using these platforms, and it's the most frustrating thing imaginable, I gotta say. I'll just shoot him. If there was a way to like, you know, play around with your equipment more, have more fun early on, like you do, I imagine that you do unlock the really powerful triggers later on, but it's just, if they just done more to make the equipment side of things more interesting and maybe enhance the feel and stuff like that of the guns and stuff, I'd have a much easier time recommending this. But right now, it's a very cautious maybe. Like, did you play Asterisk 4 and enjoy, like, that, basically? Like, I know the combat wasn't exactly the best thing in the world, but the thing is, this isn't the best thing in the world either. Basically, if you enjoyed the Asterisk War overall as a thing, you'll probably like this. This game did come out earlier than the Asterisk War, so just have the same sort of mindset when you're going in. Expect a sort of, like, average, slightly above average, anime-inspired combat game, and you'll probably do okay. That's pretty much the long and the short of it, honestly. The game's probably pretty cheap now. I don't think it went onto the PS Vita the best line or anything like that, but if you can get it for cheap, it's probably not horrible for the price you paid for it. If you paid like $40 US for it or less, but I mean, if you were asking me personally, I'd say wait until it goes on sale for like $25 or less US. Just, you know, a decent budget price might not be too bad. There are some frustrating missions, and the equipment system is a bit of a pain to deal with, but I don't know. It's okay once you really get going. The thing is, the amount of time it takes to really get going is over 4 hours, so that's a bit of a pain in the ass, unfortunately. Got a bronze medal there, got some equipment, some experience, yada yada yada, you know the drill. It's one of those sorts of games. So yeah, that was a quick look at World Trigger Borderless mission. It's not too bad, but it's not something I'd recommend for anything more than, say, budget price. This has been Blue Maxima, and I'll see you all next time.